This is Conversations with God, uh, um, and this is part 19, being at rest. God speaking. It's important for you as a minister to minister out of a state of rest. It's important that you're able to meditate on me and be in a state of worship during your day, a state of stillness, a state of rest where your spirit is resting. It's important as you live your life to stay in this place of rest, stay in this place of relaxation. Otherwise, as you minister, if you don't minister out of rest, you'll quickly become burned out if you're fully engaged in everything that you do, and you do things with the whole of your concentration. The repeated activity continued will burn you out, and that's one of Satan's favorite methods of getting rid of people, is putting them to work so much that they continually work and they burn themselves out. And so we don't want him mentioned so much in this book, but it's one of his devices to burn people out, and he only burns the good people out, the people who minister a lot and who are effective. So it's important for you to learn what being at rest is, and if you don't know how to minister out of rest and how to be in a state of rest, you need to buy a book on it and study it, because if you're going to be used in any way in the ministry, you need to be in a position where you can minister out of a state of rest. Jesus, when he was on earth, spent a couple of hours at least every morning worshipping and praying to me and speaking to me and pouring his heart out. In those states, in those times, he was at rest, and as he went out from praying to me, he kept his spirit in a state of rest during the busy day. As he was busy ministering to people, his spirit was continually in a state of rest, and the Holy Spirit was bubbling up within him, and he kept the state of rest going each day with the Holy Spirit ministering to him during the day. And as he ministered, as he was busy, he was in this state of rest. He was in this state of praise and worship during his day, and he was relaxed, and he never became stressed or worn out, and he was always ministering first to himself. So I need you to learn how to do this. I need you to learn how to temper your spirit with the Holy Spirit, and how to stay in a state of worship, a state of contentment, a state of peace, a state of relaxation during your day, no matter how busy you get, no matter how many people come to you to be ministered to. I need you to be in a state of praise, in a state of worship, in a state of prayer, in a state of rest during your day, so that you can be effective and fresh. And that's one important thing. Jesus was always fresh, no matter if he had worked in a 15-hour day. Every person that approached Jesus got a fresh and vibrant Jesus. They didn't approach a Jesus that was worn down or worn out. They approached a fresh and vibrant Jesus every time. And it takes discipline, it takes effort to stay in a state of rest, and it's important for you to learn to minister out of this state. Matthew speaking. I've learned how to do this, to stay in a state of rest, and it's effective. I've in the past been burned out prophetically 3 times when I was doing things in the flesh, and when you're doing things in the flesh, you assume that you're being led by the Spirit. You assume that you're doing everything right. After all, you're doing a spiritual activity and prophesying. And I ran a prophecy website that people could request free prophecies, and I was getting 15 prophecy requests a day, and had a team of people that were doing them. But I burned out, and this happened more than once, and it really put me off prophesying to people, and that's what the enemy wanted to do, to have me throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I learned, I had to learn how to minister out of a state of rest, and someone prophesied that I would learn what rest is, and I'd learn to minister out of rest. And that prophecy had me seek out what rest is, and I was able to start to minister out of rest. So ministering out of rest is being in a state of worship during your day, having your spirit renewed by the Holy Spirit each day, and like Jesus said, having the Spirit bubble up within you and become a spring of living water that bubbles up out of you, rather than ministering out of yourself and out of your flesh and giving out of yourself. It's the Holy Spirit bubbling up through you as a spring and ministering to other people. It's a constant refreshing of the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is refreshing you as you minister. So today, as I prophesy, I'm constantly ministered to by the word of the Lord coming through me, the word of the Lord as I prophesy to other people ministers to my own spirit. And I can imagine Jesus saying the same words to me. And although I'm present when I'm prophesying, I'm sort of in the third person watching the Lord prophesy to me and minister to me. So I hope you can understand that. I hope I've made it clear to you for you to understand it. God speaking. It's important that you understand this principle, and I encourage you to look up the word rest and do a study of the word, so that you can be in a state of rest as you minister. It's vital that you learn to minister out of a state of rest. It's vital if you're going to be used in any effective way, in any powerful way in the future. I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate you reading this book. It's been a number of pages, and it's been pretty intense what we've been speaking about. And I pray that it's nourishment to your spirit and nourishment to your souls, to your mind, will, and emotions. I pray for you, and I pray that you would be able to reach a stage within yourself that you know how to minister out at rest and how to be at rest during your day-to-day life. It's important that you can meditate on songs and worship and be in a state of contemplative prayer during the day, and be involved in the prayer without ceasing, where you're being ministered to by the Holy Spirit each day as you go throughout your day, for you to be refreshed and watered by the Holy Spirit. These are important things, and it's important for you to learn, and important for you to come into and have an awareness and have a way of discerning that you're at rest. And it's important that you learn to minister out of rest and protect yourself and be a vibrant, happy person that is always available to minister, and always available as a tree of life to other people, to set people free and carry people's burdens and minister to people's burdens, and release them from their bondage. I pray, I hope that this has been informative to you, and you learned a lot. Go in peace.